Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you how I made this beautiful wrap dress. If you're new here, welcome. Please like, share, subscribe, and also please drop a comment. I would like to read from you. Let's get to it. To make a wrap dress, you have to fold your paper into two, and also we will be cutting the back pattern first. So on this paper I have marked the horizontal lines. This is the baseline and it will also serve as a shoulder line. This is my chest line, this is my waist line, this is my hip line, and this is the hem. The length of my dress is 38 inches and then I added 1 inch hem allowance. Now on the shoulder line, mark your shoulder measurement divided by 2. Mine is 7.5. Mark the same thing on the chest line and draw a straight line. On the chest line, take your bust measurement divided by 4 plus 0.5 inch ease allowance. On the waistline, take your waist measurement divided by 4 plus 0.5 inch ease allowance. On the hip line, you do the same thing, hips divided by 4 plus 0.5 inch ease allowance. And then on the hem line, you subtract 1.5 inches from what you have on the hip line. Now connect all the lines. For the neck width, I'm going to use 4 inches. And for the back neck depth, I'll use 1.5 inches. Then connect the two. For the shoulder slope, you come down by 1 inch and connect it to the neck width. Get the midpoint of what you have here. Then you connect this to this and this. So this is the back pattern, it is ready. But then I want to make some measurements before I cut it out. For the front neck depth, I want about 6.5 inches. For the armhole, I'll come in by 0.5 inch on this midline. Make a mark. Then I'll connect this to this and this. So the green line is for the front pattern. Now for the neckline for the front, I'll curve it this way. So this will serve as a guide for me by the time I'm cutting the front. Now let's cut out this pattern. Make sure that all pointy edges are curved. Now I'm going to cut on the brown line for the back. This is my back pattern, and I'll cut it on the fabric. While cutting it, I'll ensure to add the seam allowance of 1 inch. On the shoulder, armhole and neckline, you add the seam allowance of 0.5 inch. On the hem line, the hip line and the waist line, make notches. Now I'm going to use this fabric to cut out the lining. So guys, for the front pattern, first you trim out the armhole. Open up the paper. Trace the waistline. Remember that this crease is the midline. Now from here, you determine how much overlap you want. For me, I just want it to be about 6 inches away from the midline. Ideally, I'm supposed to connect from here to here, okay? But because I don't want it to be too low at the front, this 6.5 is already a guide for me. So I'm going to connect this line up to here. So I later decided to make it 1 inch above the waistline. Now for the hem, you can make it straight if you want, but for me, I want it to be curved a little inward, alright? So here I'll mark about 5 inches outward. and then I'll connect this place to here. Now I can cut it out. So guys, if you want to leave it this way, you can, but you know, I love to eliminate gaping as much as I can. So because we have this kind of neckline, it is going to have some form of gaping. To take away gaping, from my chest line, I'm going to mark about 2 inches downward. Draw a straight line. Now from this midline, mark your bust span. Mine is 3.5. Mark it on the hip line, mark it on the M line. Draw it into a straight line. Get the midpoint of this curve, that is 9. Connect the midpoint to the bust point. Mark ½ inch on both sides and draw the line. So now you're going to close this dart. Then you open here so that it can relax. Reconnect this line and cut it out. So guys, looking at this, if we leave it this way, the fabric is going to be too wide at the front. Now measure what you have here. I have about 5 inches. The distance between here and here is 5 inches. Ensure it is laying flat on the table. I'm going to mark that 5 inches here and connect. That means that the 5 inches I added here because of the dart, I'm cutting it out of here, so it does not in any way affect the width of the front pattern. Okay, so guys, this is what I have. I'll cut it out on the fabric now. Fold your fabric right side facing and cut it out. While cutting it, I'll ensure to add the same allowance of 1 inch. On the shoulder, armhole and neckline, we add the same allowance of 0.5 inch. Notch all the areas. I'm doing this so that by the time I'm sewing, everything will align. Use this to cut out the lining. To draft the sleeve, you fold your fabric into 4. I want the hem to be around here, so I measured 1 inch upward for hem allowance. Then the length of my sleeve, I'll be using 25. Now get the shoulder to elbow. Mine is about 13.5. So the circumference around my wrist is 9 inches. 9 inches divided by 2, that is 4.5. I'll measure 4.5 here. Plus 1 inch seam allowance. Around my elbow is 12. So I'll measure 12 divided by 2, that is 6, and 1 inch seam allowance. So for this top part, I'll use this pattern from the sleeve tutorial. Now I'll connect this to this and this to this. I'm going to cut this out. Notch the crown of the sleeve. Now open it up. Open up the pattern as well and retrace the front pattern. So now you know that the side that is deeper is the front. Now we are done with all the patterns. I'll cut out the lining and then we will sew it. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Please like, share, subscribe, and also please drop a comment. I would like to read from you. Till we see again next time, take care of yourself. Bye.